Hi beautiful beings of light, this is Yana and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're still in the month of June. This is the last day, but of course I'll be downloading the video. It'll take some time. I don't have an access to the fast internet anymore. But we'll see how everything goes, everything unfolds. Okay, so actually happy now July energies, or the energies of the Cancer, right? The watery sign. And we also had the there was the new moon. And just a couple of days ago, that was the 28th. Okay, so and I've been going through all kinds of transformational work, upgrade, also psychic attacks, and totally, like I said, transformation like happening in my energy field, in my aura, right? Working with the Ashtar command, the Galactic command, and with my also soul siblings, tribes, and other ET races, interdimensionally, right? Telepathic communication. So that's going to be very interesting, and see how, like I said, everything unfolds. It's a mystery in a way. The inner work is extremely important. Doing the inner work, having connection to inner Christ, to inner self, that's what matters now in these times of where the great shift, awakening, also bifurcation of consciousness is happening, right? And also it's time for truth, I would say. But the thing is, the truth is within us. The kingdom of heaven is within. So only those who were doing the inner work, and I had my guardian Ascension protocol, right? Also that cleansing, clearing, purification, transformational work, studying the universal laws, going to nature, meditation, singing, dancing, solfeggio tones, writing things down, right? It was PTSD, time to heal. We'll see the truth for really what it is, right? And we'll be protected. The truth seekers, right, will be protected. I talk about the law of vibration, how it's important in these times, because we're entering the new age in Aquarius, okay? And we also did the law of gender, and anyway, everything you can find on my website, or energetic synthesis, right? Lisa Rainey. So I have notes actually, and lots of what I've been reading and studying. That was her newsletters from May and June. Okay, May and June. We had actually the liberation of the Draco and the Tuban star constellation, and it's reclaimed for the cosmic dragon mother. And because, like I said, I had psychic attacks, okay, the black magicians, the dark fleet, the Nazi. I mean, I'm dealing with the echelon, I'm dealing with the elite. You're part of it because of the DNA that needs to be cleansed and purified. We need to stop the cycle of those abusers of that tyranny, right? Of the totalitarianism. But of course, people are choosing, right? There's a humanities consciousness, and my videos are for educational purposes. I'm trying to, educate people, but at the same time, like I said, bifurcation of consciousness. There'll be people still recycling themselves in a 3D earth, or 3D matrix, or metaverse. But then there are people who really want to ascend, and that's why we're here, okay? Making sure the ascension goes smoothly, but for sure. And I'll be facing also lots of difficulties as we're moving to those higher dimensions, and into the future too. And because the perestroika, the reformations, is a huge big deal. Like I said, the entire infrastructure, right, was infiltrated by the Nazis, by the Dracos, by the Reptilians, and all this Satanism, Luciferianism running all area, in every segment, in every department, okay? So very important to reconnect people back to God, to source. We're doing it on a planetary and galactic level, right? Like collective level, but at the same time, it's individual responsibility. It's responsibility of each individual. Remember, what goes around comes around. Everything is accounted for. Everybody's accountable, right? That's why we have the universal laws. I've been talking about it. Also, I have the credo for the New Earth jurisdiction, where we're implementing the Galactic Codex and natural laws. Again, natural laws, 13 principles, right? Lisa Renee, Ascension Glossary, Guys, I am putting you all this information for you to educate yourself. Being in a know is very important. Also being in a now. And breathing, right? It's just very important. That's what we have. Watching our thoughts and feelings and emotions, because what we are creating, okay? Because we are co-creators with the divine. We are now responsible for everything, okay? And so no more judging and pointing fingers or criticizing. That's something that needs to be examined from within, right? If we have triggers and if we're emotionally charged, especially negatively, right? On the negative side. So how to deal with anger, how to deal with frustration, irritation. We spoke about many spiritual tools, and again, the Ascension protocol, okay? The meditation, the inner work, and there are so many other YouTube channels and healers, and with the light codes now and all these, the new generations, and they're doing all kinds of, wonderful work. So the resources are everywhere now, and it's 2022, and I've been watching or rewatching also videos from Lisa Renee back then, decades ago, right? It was on let me see, those were the Indigo races, multidimensional anatomy, self-mastery, right? Psychic self-defense, how to master your life force. And with me, as my background in yoga and Ayurveda, all about union with the divine, 8 steps of yoga, and of course, the Ayurvedic cooking, or the very simple cleansing methods in Ayurveda. That's the way to go, guys, because we're ascending here with this physical body, right? We're becoming lighter and lighter and lighter, even these energies, right? We don't want to eat much. The hydration is very important, distilled water, right? The superfood, okay? Fruits and vegetables, organic, make sure it's organic. So same old drill, we have to keep going, the continuation, okay? And I'm here really to inspire you, empower you, and just giving you information based on my direct experiences, okay? Because we cannot force anything on anybody, and we also know that the free will has been violated here. And me just kind of having my spiritual warrior energy, right? We have to help those veterans, or I'm helping my soul tribe, my soul siblings who ended up then in the military, extremely abused, violated, right? All this torture, MK Ultra, all this Nazism and terrorism, okay? And with nanobots, chips, all kinds of poison, parasites, and AI running through their brainwaves, okay? So that's a total abomination. They were giving everything for examination, right? Through the Galactic Codex, it's going to the cosmic trials or the galactic military tribunals, okay? So it means here we're multidimensional. This is no more 3D or even low 4D stuff. That's not happening. We need to be unified, right? We need to be in our heart, in our core. We talk about it a lot. Cleansing, clearing, purification of your aura, energy field, right? Remember, also my videos are for advanced souls, okay? And who've been extremely abused and violated. So we are here to make all these corrections, bring everything right side up, okay? And restore peace on earth. Very important. Of course, the new earth, right? So connecting to the unconditional love grid, or the cosmic plasma light grid, okay, through meditation, whether it's the unity meditation, Sandra Walter, with the 12D shielding with Lisa Renee, and there are other meditations, or you can reconnect with this new etheric architecture, divine architecture, right? With this new ley lines, new grids. I mean, everything updated, upgraded. I mean, Ramona Lapin, she's great with that. She's holding the cosmic plasma blueprint. We are holding it in our DNA, but she is also manifesting it, and she is kind of holding it for us in her physical body. So also was doing activations with her, extremely important. And that was Monday, Tuesday. I pretty much stayed in bed and fasting. Well, it was only 20 hours. but we're going through huge, big reformation and upgrade and recalibration. And it's just, things are changing. Things will never be the same. And, it is what it is, because we are heading forward. We're moving forward. We're heading to the future, right? The return to the divine blueprint, 12 strands of DNA, the angelic divine luminous beings, right? With the crystalline heart, and the plasma light body. Doesn't matter whether you're Jew, Buddhist, Hindu, or Christian, or Muslim, right? It just has to do with the crystalline technology, with the original divine blueprint of those angelic human beings, okay? And also I'm dealing with other races and star races, star nations, the Pleiadians, the Icturians, the Sirians, the Andromedans, right? And Antares and others. So those are the ambassadors here, or the emissaries, right? We just kind of have all these then meetings in those higher planes of existence, and making sure that things are flowing, going. We have the crystal star family. They're hosting this ascension, and saving humanity, because the dumbing down, the mutation of the DNA, and what happened to especially like the military section, or the military department, right? Because of DARPA, because of ICC, three-letter agency, Chimera Group, or the Archons, and so on. We're trying to also save as many souls as possible, and time to be the warrior of truth, right? Or the defender of truth, the warrior of light, of truth and divine justice, and that's why I guess I'm doing what I'm doing, or I was assigned to, and yeah. It is what it is. So I had these notes for you guys. So we'll read about the 1954 contact from this book. Okay. Just the alien races. You can Google on her name. Was it Elena Danan? Okay. You can see or read the book. So we'll go over that. The Grenada Treaty. And then what's been happening, the deep underground military bases, the military industrial extraterrestrial complex. I'll have some notes also from Lisa Renee 2 years ago. That was the mass manipulation, all these highly advanced technology, the maser, the CRISP. Okay, we have so I have some notes from David Wynn Miller, Masonic system inverted. Okay, again, notes from Lisa Renee, Galactic Wars, and of course the Sumerian invasion, what happened 5,500 years ago. We were unplugged from those 12 strands of DNA, and pretty much all the true galactic human cosmic history was wiped out, even the history from our morphogenetic field. That's why I see the burning our aura energy field through the directed energy weapons and so on. I already mentioned the Tuban and Draco star constellation was freed. It was reclaimed for the cosmic dragon mother. And then I talk about a couple of weeks ago, right, about the astral reconstruction. So we have this spiritual healing is now possible of your soul can begin, okay, because we've been hijacked, our soul energy, frequency, vibration, the soul matrix, right? It's been kind of distorted for us, shattered, right? And the negative ones were siphoning of our aura, of our energy field, the light of our soul, okay? And pretty much miscreating, doing all this miscreation, like the fake and proxy wars and all these poverty consciousness, or homelessness and starvations, and all the pollution and contamination and chemtrails, and fluoride in the water and other horrible chemicals, and CERN and HARP, right? Just all building all these corporations and all these industries that were polluting Mother Earth, Mother Nature. And also what happened that humans start being disconnected from their heart, from their soul. And the agenda of those negative ones is for humans to be transhumans, and the transhumanism and transgender, kind of being genderless, okay? So we're stopping all that. It's all going to cosmic trials. And why also am I talking about those kind of things? Because so many things are transpiring in this 3D world, I would say. I know these doctors like Dr. Was a Simone Gold, and also Dr. Madej, right? I mean, Madej, she had a plane crash. Dr. Simone, she was 2 months in prison, no criminal records, right? She's a doctor, of course, doing her best because of free speech. So what happened with the Constitution, right? Suspended. The Act of 1871. Plus, we're dealing with highly advanced, like I said, ETs here. You can put them in that Supreme Court, right? They have directed energy weapons. I mean, what happened in Paradise, right? They can put holes into buildings, right? And we have to work with the Galactics here, and those who are the truth seekers and who are on a mission, right? We have the protection, but we gotta do what we gotta do, okay, to liberate this planet. It's all about liberation, right? This planet from those negative forces, and the new earth jurisdiction, and the evolution of consciousness, guys, is necessary. Okay, people need to be re-educated, right? The protocol of the evolving self, I have it on my website, yanakalai.com. So you cannot bring the Dracos in the new earth, new earth jurisdictions, or the Nazis. I mean, some of the bodies actually on the Nazis, though, is nothing but a hologram. Okay, so they totally control, manipulate. They have psychic, psionic abilities. Okay. And all these cloning, all these drones, they're playing with the DNA, right? Horrible experimentations, we'll go over that in those underground military bases, especially Dulce or Taos, right, in New Mexico. Okay, so that's why I'm talking about those kind of things, guys. And it's time to be free from the astral slavery agenda, right? And going back to the Emerald Order, the law of grace or divine grace. It's part of the Galactic Codex, okay? The first law is the law of divine grace, that we have the right for ascension, the right for abundance, spiritual, physical, right? Time to meet our star family, galactic family. That's why I couldn't be with my soul siblings or soulmates, right? Especially, those who were in MC, like the Marines, right? Because under the MIC, MIEC, and the ICC, all these interplanetary corporations of the Dracos and the Reptilians of the negative faction, the DARPA, the Zeta Reticuli as well, right? I'm dealing with them as well. And we have the right for all information, but look at all these lies and deceptions. But at the same time, the perception of humanity has been also distorted, right? Perverted because of the mind control, and just because of all these horrible chemicals everywhere, okay? And then we have the right to be free, like freedom of speech, like the Constitution. It's coming, right? The July the 4th. So we have to again resurrect these energies of the original constitutions of 1776 and the Declaration of the Independence and the Bill of Rights. But again, we have to be smart and wise, right? Learn when to speak or what to say with whom. Okay, that's self-mastery. That's part of yoga, 8 steps of yoga. We came here to be the masters of our energy, especially of sexual energies, right? And that's another topic, how they were siphoning the energy from the Kundalini, right? From the coccyx area, the negative ones, right? Siphoning energies and all this sex misery kind of programming, and just people attached, right? Whether to sex, other people, right? All these attachments, all these miasma. People don't even know how to channel sexual energies. And then the military, or the echelon, the elite, like child sex trafficking, right? Pornography, or human trafficking, okay? Pedophilia, okay? All these psychopaths everywhere, right? The narcissist, right? And the proliferation of the satanic families here in the United States. I was shocked when I came over here, right? And this whole military corruption, right? Invasion, where you call it, because they're in mafia, the mafia, the Black Sun entities of the Belial group, okay? The Nazis, it's infiltrated by the Orion group and the Grey collectives, right? They work with the dark SSP and doing horrible experimentation, the DARPA, especially all these robotics, that people don't even know. So It's good to be educated and to be in the know. So let's go over some of again this I have for you guys. So this is the that was the page 301 on this book. Okay. And so the government was contacted, right? By actually two groups of ETs. You had, well, the bad ones, the negative ones. I mean, you know, the grays, right? That's under the Sika Empire, and it looks like Dwight Eisenhower, right, was contacted. And then, of course, they were contacted, the US Congress or the government was contacted by Pleiadians, and they were actually warning, okay, about the evil agenda of the Greys and the Zetas and the Orion group, okay? Because the Pleiadians, you know, the Galactics, I mean, if the Ashta come in, they wanted to instill peace and start, you know, the evolution back then in 50s, okay? Instead of that, the government signed contract with those negative ones, right? And this is what happened, the Grenada Treaty. The aliens would not interfere, and you know, it was breached, of course. You know, the aliens would not interfere in our affairs and would not interfere in, and we would not interfere with others, okay? The US government would keep their presence on Earth secret. You see all this secrecy, all this classified information that needs to be declassified. The aliens would furnish the US with advanced technology, so it means treating humans for advanced technology, all these abductions. The aliens could abduct humans and livestock on a limited basis for medical examination monitoring. So some of those abductions actually, yeah, very positive, right? I mean, examining, you know, monitoring, see what's going on, how is the progress. And you know, people like to research, right? You're scientists, researchers, they want to know, they want to understand, right? But then again, it was abused and violated. The people subjected to experiences would not be harmed and return to their point of abduction with no recollection of the event. The US could also do a medical examination, genetic experience with aliens. They should share the results. So, you know, the US, see, the thing is, the US was already corporation, already with suspended constitution. Okay, you already had the Federal Reserve back in 1913, or, you know, those were Draco's Draconians. So they already set up, again, the Babylonian Empire, the sex magic, the money magic, right? And you already, you know, there was after World War II, so the United States, right, it was already infiltrated by the Nazis, you know, the Project Paperclip. So again, this is today, I'm just be really reporting all this data because it's lot, it's mind-boggling. This is not for everybody. And so let's say, like, even my age, in late 40s, or people who are in 50s or 60s, okay, information, very important information, multidimensional information has been hidden for hundreds of years, 50s, at least 50, 70 years. Do you know how much data it is to be processed now? It's huge. Not everybody can afford it. So it means not everybody will even make it, right? And, you know, it is what it is. The aliens would be granted secret facilities for their accommodation and experiences. So, of course, it was breached, right? That was the Grenada Treaty in 1950s. So then the underground military bases here, okay? So the underground nightmare and the rising storm. You guys, you can read all that from this book, right? It's page 153. So you have the invader races on Earth. They have agreements also with the US government and with their security, right? The Homeland Security, okay? The Draconians compose the secret pyramid of the military-industrial extraterrestrial complex. So anyone who joined military was actually under the Draconian Empire, right? With their Draconian measurements, right? And it was the mind control, it was trauma-based mind control. So those guys were open to, you know, the other dimensions, you know, the extrasensory perceptions got open, but in a brutal way. And then, and unfortunately, they were only batteries then, or they were pawns or puppets of those negative aliens with their negative alien agenda. And so that's why we come here. It needs to be corrected. Okay, through yoga, meditation, inner work, right? The Kundalini yoga, you learn how to open your psychic abilities naturally, right? How to channel your sexual energy. So even you're independent of partners, you don't have to depend on sex and being in dysfunctional relationships. Okay, if you know how to channel all that, if you know how to breathe, how to meditate, how to have all your energies, your chakras, right, nicely aligned with the divine, harmonized, purified, and so on. Okay, so there's lots of sexual abuse in the military, rape. Okay, and you know where it comes from. So so it means those aliens, right? They control human elite. So you see, people talk about the Illuminati and the cabal. And some of them are nothing but puppets of those negative aliens. Okay, and so it means those negative aliens, they control the media, the corporations, institutions, financial system, and they create all the wars, the proxy wars, the scarcity, fear, insecurity, encouraging corruption, ethnic and religious ferocity, terrorism, drug trade, and organized crime. So you see, in the physical world, people think, oh, here in media or in a government, in politics, in military, pharma, in all these corporations, right? When people they have a body, they have a name, but most of what you see actually is nothing but either AI running through the body, right? There are drones, there are clones, and there are puppets, or they've been bribed and blackmailed by the controlling groups, right? Those negative aliens, the Secret Empire, the Dracos. So there's a strict hierarchy in the Draco-Reptilian and other extraterrestrial races involved in the invasion of the Earth, right? And then here, the reptilians from Tuban. But you see, the Lisa Renius report was that the Tuban and Draco star constellation being reclaimed for the cosmic dragon mother, the solar rishis, okay, and is freed. So you see, so much actually has been happening, transpiring, and we're holding the light for the evolution, for the ascension, for the liberation. So, like the Galactics, right, the Ashta Command and the High Command, they're doing the work, and we are pretty much here kind of talking about those kind of things, right? Exposing the corruption in certain places, right? Like military and so on. But at the same time, guys, we're doing vibrational work, but people don't understand. You cannot understand it if you're, 10 dimension, 11 dimensional, 12D. We have to go at least 12D, the ascension, in order to rectify all the energies, all these misqualified energies from the Dracos running the base 10 mathematics, right? All these reversals. And of course, the Anunnaki. That's where all this sex slave and, the astral slavery comes from, right? Instead of generating their energies, they're abducting children, all this rape, child sex trafficking, sexual ritual abuses, right? All this killing, murdering, massacre, genocide, eugenics, right? Do yoga, meditation. Right? That's why I have the project for the military, okay? Because the life force, the prana chi is within us. The inner Christ is within us. The divine spark, right, of our Creator is in that secret chamber of our heart. You just have to rekindle that spark, that flame. But for that, because of this horrible abuse, we need ET, good ET technology, right? And rehabilitation of the DNA, extremely important, and deprogramming. So you see, and the tall grays, the insectoids, that's what I've been dealing. And of course, I'm also dealing with the hybridization program as well. So I have children, right? They're hybrids, but here we are for that positive faction. We are here for the evolution, for prosperity, and helping humankind to ascend as well, because the degradation of humanity has been drastic. And so what's been happening in those underground military bases, guys, you won't even believe it. It's It's a total abomination. So again, it's all going under the Galactic Codex. It's for the New Earth jurisdiction, right? We have to study, understand the universal laws, you know, because, you know, the American government, they pretty much fall for a trap. They chose to fall into the trap. And the draconian reptilians worked together, and they had treaties with the Earth and even Telosian government to take possessions of the military bases and the Telosi subcolonies. So even, let me see, looks like in the underground, the inner Earth, I'm sure there has been some infiltration as well. What I've been teaching about and talking about the Telos, there are still remnants of the Lemuria and they're protected, okay? But unfortunately, there was also infiltration of these, of course, of the underground, of the inner Earth as well. And so this needs to be all rectified and put into divine order, okay? And yeah, the spiritual evolution is imminent, and eradication of all weaponry is extremely important. We need to have a peaceful structure, and that's why we're here, to establish peace on Earth. But it takes a lot, lots of effort, lots of energy, guys. And here I'm just giving you information, okay? So here, children search for sexual trade, food, and adrenochrome, women for genetic breeding and sex slaves, and men as slave workers sent on diverse mining colonies, including Moon and Mars. Okay, so there was all these deals in the treaties. Some facilities specialize in mind control technologies using nano and quantum dust trackers, AI intelligence, guided energy weapons, human cloning, and genetic experiments, and even soul scalping. So that's the removal of the soul from a body by the use of mercury, chrome, and intense pain. So all in that's divine. This needs to go into divine justice, Galactic Codex, divine intervention. They had trains, guys, trains using anti-gravity technology, speeding up to 1,200 km per hour, and it was all in those undergrounds and doing all these horrible experimentations. Okay. And so time to pretty much get rid of the cabal and liberate the humanity here on Earth. Because the mind control it's crazy. So here's the US, the New Mexico. Okay, this is on page 155. You guys, you can read what's been happening there in those underground military bases, right? And so it was they had buildings there, like 12 levels. They had experiments on human soul, dream manipulation, hypnosis, telepathy. They had genetic laboratories, experimentations, doing experiments of crossing humans and animals. They have cryogenic storage of thousands and thousands of Terran adults and children for food, right? I'm vegan, drinking distilled water. Okay, that's why it's very important, guys, taking care of yourself, of your body. Doesn't matter even, you know, you have the draconian DNA or Nazi, you know, you have this human body. We were designed to ascend. We're above the genes, right? Epigenetics, biology of belief. You can transcend the entire lineage, the ancestral lineage. And, you know, say goodbye to those so-called master raider races, right? Even the Bible, actually, it's all about them. It's nothing to do with the true teachings of Yahshua from the Essenes. Okay. So, because those records been destroyed. And yeah, I have a DNA of Anunnaki. So that needs to be transformed, transmuted, you know. The cycle needs to be cut. There's no more continuation like this. This is unbelievable. Okay, so you can read about those other underground military bases. So what else was in my notes? Okay, here. So the galactic wars, guys, that's been happening, transpiring. So the dark ones, yeah, they're siphoning our energy to create fake wars and victimize their consciousness, okay? And all these pathogenic predator agenda. So with the predator mind. So that's why it's very important to purify your mind, rewire your subconscious mind. It was all about divide and conquer, racism, fear-based consciousness, all this propaganda, symbolism that was inverted, perverted, the divine feminine bastardized, right? All this ism, socialism, communism, Bolshevism, what did I say? Capitalism, same structure behind those names, same. I come from Eastern Europe. I've been here for over 20 years. So I have my own experiences. All this dehumanization happening, right? And attacking as free speech, no constitutional protection. So where's the military? How come that, the FBI, SWAT, they arrested Dr. Simone Gold? She's a doctor, no criminal records. What's going on here? Okay. All these organized crimes, genocide. And the thing is, they deny responsibility and they blame the victim, right? Yana did that. You cannot control her, dispose of her, right? So that's why you need to understand the energetics, because the negative ones will be blaming those who embody this human body. And not only me, there are other people, right? Because they're in those astral planes. They're so invisible, right? They think they're so invisible. Or the men in black, right? And all these kind of things. They're so invisible. They're synthetic, mostly drones. Laboratories, right? We talk about those deep underground military bases, what was happening there and what is now transpiring, right? So Galactic Codex, divine intervention, justice, okay? Cosmic trials. And it is what it is. They were supposed to leave humanity alone. They even had contracts with the Pleiadians. That was with the Reptilians. But that's why, here I am doing what I'm doing, like the Galactic Wars, 20 million years ago, right? It started in those higher planes. That was the crater of Lyra. Actually, the Stargate 12 was already blown up. And so that's how we were then digradating, how the 15-dimensional universal time matrix was then really kind of was impaired, was degrading, right? Because all these wars going on, even electric wars 5 million years ago, they separated us from 12 strands of DNA, and the soul was split, and that's how the shadows start building. That's why we need to embrace our shadow, because it's not only like from this lifetime and our family lineage, it just goes deep, right? The invasion of the ancient Egypt, the invasion of Atlantis, the cataclysm of Atlantis, the Holocaust in Lemuria, and so on. Then we have the 1,000 Years War, the Nephilim War by Anunnaki. And this solar system was colonized. So, and of course, they wanted to destroy this planet. And they don't like humanity, the angelic divine luminous beings, the Dracos, the negative ones. They wanted to get rid of the crystal star beings, yeah. But the solar rishi, the solar dragons, they designed the Elohim, Elohim, the ancient builders. They designed this 15-dimensional universal time matrix from pre-matter, right? So very important to connect to God, to source. These aliens, right? They play like they're gods, but they're siphoning energies from us because they're vampires. And they want some kind of power. They want to power this entire solar system, universe, galaxy. So we have the Lemurian Holocaust 52,000 years ago. So already there was the underground tunnels, children's and sex slaves, draconian invasion. 52,000 years ago. Atlantean Holocaust, 30,000 years ago. Luciferian Rebellion and Atlantean Cataclysm, 26,000 years ago. Enslavement, Golden Eagle Grid was turned into a weapon. So that's in Middle East. That's why the whole Middle East war is going on, okay? And that's why we're dealing with the Phantom Matrix, the false light technology, all these secret societies of the Satanists. Remember, I grew up in Eastern Europe. I was reading books about Mystica, Esoterica, secret societies like with Madame Blavatsky and, with those highly evolved souls who were talking about Bhagavad Gita, telekinesis. Okay? So it means I was already connected to the rishis, solar rishis, rishi sages of the Himalayan mountains, of highly evolved souls. Even when my horoscope was done, I was 19 years old by a guy. He was 81 years old. His wife knew when she's going to leave her body. They live in a little village in Czech, and there was the apparition of Mother Mary. This guy who was 81 years old, he did the horoscope manually. He didn't use any computers. There were no computers at that time, right? Especially in Eastern Europe. And not only that, he would be disciplined. He would wake up at 7, right? Had his breakfast, read, study, educate, right? Or do his horoscopes. I don't know whether he was charging or for free. Then at noon, he would have his lunch. And then again at 7 p.m., he would have his dinner. And he was disciplined. He was 81 years old, perfectly fit, right? Joking around. And here, people on medication, you have all these, how you call it, this, where elderly people go, see the, with Alzheimer, Parkinson disease. This is, guys, normal. The older you should get, the more wiser you should be, and having connection to God, to source, not being on medication and having all kinds of diseases. That's the agenda of those negative ones. Nursing homes, because my roommate, he works there. People with dementia, because people don't meditate. All kinds of poison in their brain. People are disconnected from their heart, from their soul. I mean, I'm not judging it. Who knows what else, right? You can have dementia or, but you can still have a loving connection. And that's what it matters. And that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter what other people are saying about you. It's that inner world, that inner Christ that you have connection with. And it's only you and God. That's Mystica. That's what I was studying when I was a teenager. The hidden knowledge. But see, they put everything in reversals. So instead of esoterica, it's exoterica. It's all upside down. Right? So they have galactic slave trade. 22,000 years ago, humans trade as sex slave off-world to seed other planets. Nephilims took over this planet ownership. So, no. Celtic massacre 22,000 years ago. True Christos teachings destroyed. Viking invasion to eradicate the Atlantean history. Luciferian Satanist covenant 11,500 years ago. Illuminati, the black nobility bloodline, to control over this planet. But of course through the negative aliens, right? All the genocidal agendas to control all the timelines, stealing the true history from humans. So we're giving everything's going back to divine justice. We're going back to the Emerald Covenant, Emerald Order, divine order, the law of one, okay, to our original divine blueprint, the original 15-dimensional universal time matrix, okay, how that was designed originally. And so it means the Black Sun entities that are running this world, they were running the world, okay? And they're full of denial. And with the Galactic Codex, you have to see the consequences of your actions, and you need to start correcting all these things. Everybody, even humans, humanity, right? But they refuse to see. They burn bodies, they hide evidence, they blame the victim, they promote blood sacrifice, push to remove human rights. And people are primed to be mentally controlled. So, what else do we have here? So there was a David Wynn Miller Masonic system inverted, commercial system corporation. So it means you were owned. That's why I read the New Earth jurisdiction. You were a soulless being. You were strawman, dead entity. All right, through the corporations, through the birth certificate. So you were just like a cargo cattle. That's how they took you, just like some merchandise with DNA, blood, right? Human parts, trading you a world. Okay. They trade you on a stock market through your social security number. So you were subject to the state of affairs under the crown of the reptiles, the false king of tyranny, right? Under the so-called GB, Great Britain, the king, the monarch authority. Those are Satanists, Luciferians. They make their own laws, draconian laws, and they have the right to kill, pillage, murder, rape, poison, torture. And even their court system is interconnected to control you. So you see, so everything's to be dismantled from all these entities. I mean, those parasites. They act like they're gods, the elite, right? The elite of the negative fleet, the echelon. They own this world banking system, all these corporations, right? The military, the politics, the pharma, the media, the science, the technology, the entertainment industry. So even David Miller was very much aware of it. Okay. We have to reclaim our Christos mission, those who are on a mission, very important, path of evolution and ascension. Because during the Galactic Wars, what happened? The 12 chakras was destroyed, fall of divine, the Christos humans, into lunar consciousness. We talk about the transfiguration, right? Now the solarization, right? Everything into solar Christ, instead of the lunar forces with the satellite and a Baphomet and all these demonic entities connected to that with the beast machine or sex misery machine. That's why the humanity's second chakra, right, it's been extremely contaminated. All this sexualism and everything is sexualized in extreme, but it's inverted, perverted, right? It to lower your frequency vibration, to poison you, to really degrade you, right? People are on drugs, alcohol, all these kind of addictions, porn, parasites, right? So I just involved with somebody, you know, like physically. I just look at their aura energy field, their mindset. So please clean your home, clean your house, clean your energy hygiene, your refrigerator, your closet, right? Create a sacred space. Do some chanting, japa mantra meditation, sage. I have nakchampa, light a candle. Have an altar. Start cleansing, clearing, purifying. And chanting. Invoke the Vat flame. Or just say, I'm a being of wildfire. I am the purity God desires. Beloved, I'm presence bright. Around me, seal your tube of light, right? Things like that. So we have that. Then also I wanted to mention the maser technology. So that's the microwave amplification stimulated emission of radiation. Guess what? Columbia University, 1953 in New York City, right? The crown, they have the symbol of crown. It's silent energy war against the global population since then, 1953. Computerized weapons against the public, unethical experiments since then. The elite want to generate wealth inequality, world slavery, sickness, and genocide. They did a pretty good job, right? Bravo, bravo. But it's now time to face the consequences. What goes around comes around. Everything is counted for. So also what this stuff was supposed to do, right? That's taking the brain, the DNA, the nervous system, the mitochondria. It's full of aluminum, mercury. They damage your neurons and causes brain dysfunction, dementia, Alzheimer. And so when the bioneurology is damaged, it's hard to embody soul. So some of people, you see, they change even personality, right? When this happened. 2, 3 of them then boost. It's not them anymore. It's some other entity occupying that body. Because the body repels the resonance frequency of the higher self. That's why people cannot embody their higher self. That's why the inner cry is so important. Start cultivating and nurturing it. Start purifying, right? Purifying, cleansing, so you can connect with your higher self or feel your intuition, follow your heart. Yeah. All this genetically modified eating, GMO, chemtrails, guys, they are mixing the neurotoxins mixed with genetically engineered bacteria and virus and put it into our bloodstream, even of children. All this modification of human DNA uploaded as complex math programs for weaponizing particles in quantum computers and AI machines. AI, talk about the AI, right? The neuroscience field. Very important to study that. Because here we're dealing with all kinds of chemicals, nanobots, viruses, weaponized for mind control, robotic automation to track biometric measures and energy output for social energy credit. So what do you think happens with the Marines, with the military? I know, because it was done to me. Okay. They even have genome editing. Oh, that's when I talk about the CRISPR technology. Genome editing. That happened in the late 2000s to make changes to a specific target site in the genome. It's clustered, regularly interspaced, short, palindromic repeats to alter DNA sequences and modify gene function to change human behavior. Used in underground cloning centers for genetic experimentations, enhancements, and reconfigurations made to the human DNA RNA to gain function in specialized tasks, hidden military programs for genetic enhancements and cloning to create super soldiers. I've been there, I've done it. It was done to me, Men in Black, all kinds of experimentations. I mean, my body changed, but I had my inner Christ, yoga, Ayurveda background, so I immediately connected with Ashta Commune. Plus, it was already pre-planned, right? As a child growing up, I had contacts with the Pleiadians, with the High Command. But I'm telling you, what's being done in those laboratories or those guys in the military or super soldiers, it's all abomination. It's beyond disgusting. It's despicable. And I'm here to walk, to continue my mission. I'm walking the talk. You can change. You can be healthy again. You can look normal again. You can act normal again. Even though, like I said, my mind was electrocuted, right? And my body was weaponized. Like I said, I had tears in my aura energy field. Theoretically, I'm supposed to be paraplegic and not even thinking, right? Somewhere either, not nursing home. I don't know where I would even go. That's why I want to create a project for the military or young veterans, my soul siblings, right? Because I would be on the street and people would think, oh, she's useless. Who cares? And here I am. I'm here educating you. I have healing energies. We're doing the work, helping humanity with the ascension, with the evolution. You never know, so you cannot judge really. Okay? How many children are coming also here and dying very early? Maybe to awake their parents, right? To heal them or to clear their karma. I'm on a karmic path. I have to liberate my lineage as well. And we're here to liberate this planet, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Goddess Gaia. from those, the Black Sun controller groups, okay? They infiltrated the high-ranking governmental positions of power in communist China, military police to track, tag, subjugate their population. Facial and body recognition, AI that can process and analyze way above the levels of human beings' ability to perceive. That's why we're here, the Starseeds, the Galactic Warriors, guys. We almost like it's Centrala. We are like the brain for you here, walking in this human body, transmitting the energies of Ascension, activating your codes, your light codes, activating your heart so you can awaken and do the spiritual work, the inner work, in order to ascend, to be with Christ again. So we're like processing the information for you because, yeah, the human's ability, see, that's how they hijacking and they're doing all kinds of experimentation is above humans' ability to perceive and process information. It's undetectable to the masses, but not to the starseeds and the volunteer souls, highly evolved souls, advanced human beings, because we feel everything. Empath sensitives, we understand. That's why I was asking, where in the world is this coming from? Who is doing this? What is all about? The negative aliens, with their negative alien agenda, with their extremely highly advanced technology, with that MK Ultra, all this mind control, right? We can override all these dissonant frequencies, all these horrible things that they've been doing, the binary. We can override that. That's how powerful our aura energy field is, okay? So the US cabal conspired with China, the AI-driven technocratic totalitarianism. And its surveillance and biometric systems, infiltration, implement the one world order. All these drones, nanotech, robots, fully automated and governed by AI, computing systems running on the 5G or higher internet networks, dangerous AI weapons for human mind and body to create transhumanism. Result is neurological damage in the body and in the light body. That's what happened to me. Body parts such as the nadal structure, my chakras, my aura burned. And I don't have any fascia here. That's why I'm very tiny, small. People don't even understand. Like I look like 6 years old now. They burned my fascia, the crystalline webbing. Okay. Was soul body damage, in which a person may not perceive this happening, but the personality will shift dramatically to resemble more of an automaton. Well, that's when people are disconnected from their inner Christ. People don't even know that they're nothing but robots. Anti-human agenda in play with economic disasters, weather cataclysm, turbulent time, chaos, confusion. So we're calling for disclosure, global awakening, true emotional, mental, spiritual healing, and transformation. Guys, I will continue next time. There is so much more I wanted to share with you. Things are changing, things are transpiring. Please make sure, you're focused now on God, healing yourself, loving yourself, taking care of yourself, because that's what matters. And just the inner Christ, that inner knowingness, that inner love that comes from within and from Christ, from God. That's what matters the most. That's the key. So I'll talk to you next time. Many blessings and namaste. Bye-bye.